the definition. Okay, so all this, the outcome of all this discussion is that a contract must have two things: a proposal and an acceptance. A proposal or an acceptance. Okay, did you understand now that what is a contract? A
Yes, sir.
proposal
Yes,
plus,
sir.
yes, a proposal plus an acceptance. You see, when a proposal is accepted, a contract comes into being, and then a relation between the two parties is created, which is called contractual relation. And every one of the parties to the contract, you see, is bound to perform his part of contractual duty. And if he is not, and let me tell you that if a person is not performing his part of, just suppose that we today agreed, I offered him 10,000 rupees for his mobile. He agreed to sell me, but we agreed that the performance would take place next week. Either I had no money in my pocket to pay him, or he was thinking to clean his mobile and then deliver it to me. So we postponed it, the contract, you see, the performance of the contract to the next week. All right. So next week, just suppose that I change my mind. I said, yeah, yeah, his mobile is a very old mobile, and mistakenly I have offered him a big amount. If I say no, sir, no, my son, I'm sorry, I can't buy it for 10,000 rupees. So my saying no is called technically breach of contract. Okay. Or just suppose that he came across another student, his classmate, who said, why are you stupid to selling this mobile for 10,000 rupees? Let me buy it for 15,000 rupees. And he agrees to buy it. And he tells me next week when I brought the money, 10,000 rupees, sir, I'm sorry, I can't sell it because I have already sold it for 15,000 rupees. So he would be said in the law of contract, breacher, breacher. He has breached the contract. Okay, and let me tell you that breach of contract is not an offense. Can anybody tell me what's the meaning of an offense? Hurry up, please.
Sir, opens means that, sir, jurum,
Oh yes,
crime,
I didn't
crime.
ask you for the translation in Urdu. Offense is
Sir,
that
crime.
behavior which is punishable. Okay, so breach of
Yes,
contract
sir.
is not an offense. Why not? Because it is not punishable. In Pakistan Penal Code, if you wanted to look for the punishment of breach of contract, you will never come across such thing. You see, this is not offense, but it never means that this is not wrong. If you go back to my first lecture, you see, when I told you that wrongs are of two kinds: civil wrongs and criminal wrong. So breach of contract is a civil wrong which is not punishable, but it is actionable. It is actionable. So you can bring an action, and at the most one, what can you see the breacher be asked to do is to compensate the loss. Just suppose that upon his refusal to deliver me the mobile, I went to the market and I bought a mobile of the same mark, same condition, for a higher amount, just suppose for 15,000 rupees. So my loss is 5,000 rupees, and I can compel him through a suit which I will file again against him to compensate me, give me 5,000 rupees, which I have spent beyond the contract price. At the same time, if I refuse to buy the mobile while I have already contracted to buy it for 10,000 rupees, he was compelled. I mean, he had no way. He could hardly sell it out for, just suppose, 7,000 rupees. So his loss is 3,000 rupees, and I will have to compensate him. Okay, so what I was going to tell you that a breach of contract is not punishable, it's not an offense, but it is a civil wrong. It is actionable, not punishable, but actionable, for which an action can be brought in the form of a civil suit in a court of law. Okay, and let me tell you another interesting thing, that every breach of contract is not actionable. What does it mean? Every breach of contract is not actionable means that every breach of contract, for every breach of contract, you can't bring an action, you can't file a suit. Only that breach of contract is actionable, or for only that breach of contract you can file a suit, in result of which you have sustained some loss. You see, just suppose that upon his refusal to sell me the mobile for 10,000 rupees, you see, I went to the market and I bought a mobile of the same mark, of the same condition, for a lesser amount, for 8,000 rupees, or just suppose for the same amount, 10,000 rupees. So there is no doubt that he has breached the contract. You see, by refusing to sell the mobile to me, which he has promised to do, to sell to me, to deliver. So there is no doubt that he has breached the contract. But this breach has caused me no loss at all. That's why I have no reason to bring an action. If I file a suit, you see, the first thing which I will be asked in the court of law, that what is my loss? If I tell him that nothing, sir, then the court may laugh at me and may say bye bye to me. In the same way, if I have breached the contract, I have you see refused to accept the delivery, and he sold it for the same amount of 10,000 rupees, or a higher amount of 12,000 rupees, then there is no doubt at all that I have breached the contract. But my breach has caused him no loss. You see, he has sustained no loss. So breach is there, but this breach is not actionable. And for this, you see, no suit can be filed in a court of law. Did you understand this point? Okay, let me move to when is the break time? I think it's quarter past 10, according to my knowledge. Okay, I'm stopping for a while to answer your questions if you have some. Look, when we are in a real classroom, that's very easy to. I can see the signs of interrogation on your faces, but here everything is in the dark. You can see me and I can't see you people. That's why. If you have got some question, if you have not understood a point, please let me know so that I can explain it. And a fellow teacher of mine told me, who is teaching online for the whole semester, he told me that many students, they come online and they sleep and leave the computer and they pretend as they are listening to you. So I don't know how many of you are listening to me. God knows. Gee,
Yeah, Lal.
anything which you haven't understood, anything which you need me to explain again,
No, sir.
We got all.
No,
everything is
sir.
okay. And uh, uh, you see, as I always tell you, that only understanding a concept, whether it is law or any other discipline, it's not enough only to understand. You have to have two skills: understanding and having ability to make other people understand. If someone asks you what does contract mean, what does agreement mean, what's the difference between an agreement and a contract, what is proposal, what is promise, what is consideration, would you people be able to explain it even in your own language? If you
Alhamdulillah.
think you are able, then I'm going to move to the next item.
Yes, sir.
Let me know everybody has gained these two skills: understanding what I have taught you, and having gained the ability to explain it in their own words. Hurry up. Someone should answer my question. Okay, then. Let me move to the section which talks about the definitions. Like as I have told you, the first definition which I have chosen is proposal. Okay, and it has been defined in section 2 as, I'm talking about proposal. What is proposal? Can anybody tell me?
सर प्रपोजल वो स्टेटमेंट होती है जो जो सेलर जो होता है वो यानी बेचने के लिए जो स्टेटमेंट देता है उसे प्रपोजल
वेरी
कहते
गुड
हैं
अब्दुल्ला, तो यू आर बट।
यस सर
तो फिर बट तो इतनी आहिस्ता आवाज से नहीं बोलते, तुमने सुबह नाश्ता नहीं किया हुआ?
यस सर अभी तक नहीं किया
अच्छा, वेरी गुड। बट तो बड़े तेज लोग होते हैं। ऑल राइट, दैट्स वेरी गुड, योर आंसर इज वेरी वेरी करेक्ट। आई एम वेरी हैप्पी टू नो दैट
थैंक यू सर
proposal is the opening statement in a contract. What happens? You see, don't look at the dealings when you are buying or selling. Or, and let me tell you that contract may not necessarily be only for buying and selling goods or things. It may be for services. Like I'm selling my services to Namal. Namal is have bought my services for 1 semester. That I'll be my services as a teacher, my services as an engineer, my services as legal advisor. So proposal is actually, and whenever a deal starts, just suppose you are in the market, you are buying something, or you are the coordinator of management sciences and you are looking for a teacher of business law. So naturally, negotiations. The first stage is negotiation. For how much is this mobile? Just suppose you are in Singapore Plaza buying a smartphone for yourself. So naturally, you will be asking, he will tell you 20,000 rupees.